Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good icy morning.
Good icy morning.
We're in the tundra.
Goodness gracious.
Feels like it. Not really. Highway 60 wasn't that bad driving in, but all of my
The
back
back
roads,
roads are terrible.
Back roads are horrible.
they're pretty slick.
Newsflash, the back roads are terrible.
Yep. And don't think your four-wheel drive will save you.
Nope.
That's good for
Doesn't
snow.
It don't
But
do a lick of good.
You can have 18 wheels on that ice, and it doesn't do a whole lot of good.
Yeah, give yourself like at least an extra, probably what? If you didn't park...
Just double. I double.
I would double.
If you didn't park your car in the garage like I didn't, that ice is ridiculous to get off the car. So, yeah.
Yes, it is slickery on the back roads.
Yeah.
Slickery, that's a good word.
It's a technical term for slick roads.
Word for the day, slickery.
Brought to you by Hank's Slickery Towing.
And Sportsland to pick up covers in the Resource Center studios.
Yes. A real sponsor, not Hank's.
A real sponsor. Let's get their logos up here.
Oh, man. How was your all's Super Bowl weekend?
I had Saturday night we had pizza and chaos. That's what I call it when my cousins come over with their kids. It was fun. There's
like it.
7 kids under 7, and and we did some math. There's going to be 9 kids under 7 come July. So
Guys.
we are in the child rearing.
You know what causes that, right?
Yeah, we all know. But it was a lot of fun. And then the Super Bowl, just one of our buddies came over because of the COVID. And so it was good. It was actually just kind of relaxing. And I don't care about football at all. I really tried, but I just don't care.
We went to the beautiful Beverly's Bar outside of Branson. And,
what? Is it really called Beverly's Bar?
It's called Beverly's Bar. And
Beverly.
It was a hoot. There was about 10 people. Me and my buddy didn't know anybody, and by the end of the evening, we knew everyone.
Including the police that stopped by.
And just become best friends.
The Popo stopped by and said hi. And my buddy was the only one in the bar that was a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm a Tom Brady fan. I think it's kind of cool that, you got a guy that's, 44, 45 years old that's playing the Super Bowl. This is, Super Bowl number...
And doing pretty well.
Yeah, well...
55, you got to respect you got to respect his athleticism.
You got to expect his experience. I mean
he's an incredible
He was playing
athlete.
in Super Bowls before Mahomes was even born. And,
well, almost.
Ish.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
I mean, Mahomes was still pooping his pants then.
I have no personal knowledge of that information, so I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Mahomes was still pooping his pants,
Yeah,
or
he probably was.
Whenever Tom Brady threw his first touchdown pass in a Super Bowl in the second half, because this was the first Super Bowl he had ever thrown a touchdown in the first quarter or first half.
Was it? I think it was the first time he ever scored a touchdown in the first quarter.
Right.
That's what I saw, I think, on there.
Well, my buddy and I had a conversation prior to, and we said that if Mahomes wins, then he is an awesome, awesome quarterback. But if he loses, it just reaffirms that experience trumps young athleticism.
I think in those settings, it is going to just about every single time. Just because I didn't watch a lot of the Chiefs games this year. My husband's a lifelong Raiders fan. Sorry. And and he loves football. That's like his favorite thing. So we probably should have brought Jesse on to analyze anything football related because he just knows a ton about it. But you just looking at the Chiefs players, they look tired and defeated.
They started out really slow.
Yeah.
And the Bucks were, I mean, they were on him like stink on you know what, and there
was some crappy calls. I mean, there was some crappy calls.
Yeah, but ultimately they didn't necessarily make any difference in the score.
No, we were talking about that.
Unfortunately, Kansas City was holding on a lot of those plays.
Not all of them. Not all of them. There was one you're like, seriously?
Yeah, and it's like, John Madden always says is you can call holding on every single play if you really wanted to. Yeah. They did for Kansas City.
Yeah, I really would have loved to have seen, the Chain Gang, they did their Super Bowl show the night before, which I think was great.
Yeah.
But they should have gone live during the Super Bowl, and you
Yeah.
could have like dual screen and had Jesse would have been great on there, and Kix because he's a big Tom Brady
oh, yeah,
fan.
he's a big
Oh,
Brady
yeah.
fan.
And so
yeah.
we could have had like a knockdown dragout fight on K-ROG. This guy's talking
Well,
Pretty
about.
cool.
And
Yeah.
we could have at least maybe even had John Pope come on and do some halftime show entertainment that I think might have been better than what we saw. I didn't
See,
fully I didn't fully
It
understand all
was-
that.
I'm sorry, it was.
Okay,
No.
here's the deal though. Think of it this way. So he's been doing a long-term story told within his music videos that he's using to create obviously controversy and I can't think of the word, but
You lost me already.
Yeah.
well he's
Just
telling-
like the halftime show.
No. He's telling a story with his music videos. So he's got a dialogue that's been running in several music videos.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
that was a continuation of that dialogue. And basically the dialogue is that, and I'm a Weeknd's music fan, but I haven't watched all of the music videos because when I'm listening to music, I'm in my car, so I'm obviously not
Is
watching.
that the name of the band? Weekends?
His name is The
it's,
Weeknd,
and there's
like
no E.
Prince.
There's only 2 E's.
Yeah,
It's like WEEKND.
yeah. So his like Prince
Oh,
or
okay,
Pink,
gotcha.
it's The Weeknd. So he's very musically talented, but I mean he's weird. Like most, I'm going to say celebrities and musicians, they're a little odd. So he's been telling this story in his music videos, and I believe one of the main points is the ridiculousness of celebrities basically changing their faces to conform.
That's a little too deep though for the Super Bowl.
It was
I
too
think.
deep. But think of it this way: part of it is he's a villain that realizes he's a villain in these music videos. So when I was watching that, I hadn't seen the videos, but I knew about them because I knew there was this controversy, and so I'm like, he looks like a villain from the Batman movies, is what he looks like. And then I go back and I read some of his comments, and I'm like, he was trying to look like a villain,
Yeah.
So I mean, it was weird, and I get it. If you didn't know the Weeknd's music, it would have been really confusing.
Yeah. I imagine like the maybe 5% of the population that was watching that probably didn't understand, or
I think it was
5% understood it,
and
the
the
other
rest didn't.
95%
Yeah.
didn't.
And it was kind of unfortunate because the guy's music is really good, and he went too far to kind of cater to his fan base.
He went to Weirdo Land.
He went to weird.
You know what I like? When they have a band with like drums and guitars.
It's fair.
And
I wish they just would have
keyboard
had George Strait get up
and
there
like
and sing a
that.
song.
That'd be cool.
But, I mean,
Hank Williams Jr. said, I think he's like banned from the NFL.
Probably.
They want to do that, but
I like all kinds of music, but he
I just went back and watched the Prince halftime show when it's like,
he
that was
didn't
awesome.
do anything controversial though, and I mean you got to give him props for that.
I don't.
He didn't.
The
like,
thing is, though,
he
is
didn't-
I lost him.
He didn't.
The
The
Weeknd.
Weeknd didn't do
The
anything
Weeknd.
controversial.
I lost him after the first minute, though. Was the problem?
Yeah, it's fair
so,
if you didn't know the.
yeah.
I do
story.
appreciate that. I do
Yeah.
appreciate that he didn't make any type of political.
There were no
statement.
stripper poles and accidental wardrobe malfunctions. and,
accidental.
yeah.
We were sitting there in the bar, and I said, the game hadn't even started yet, and I was like, man, I should have went to Chris's sermon this morning because I've already gotten preached to for the last 20 minutes on every commercial that was on there
Yes, the
about
commercials.
how
Preachy.
horrible I am as an
Preachy.
American.
I just this whole let's be united.
I know.
I'm like, well, thanks for saying that.
Or
but you
the
have to act that
reunited.
way.
You had 4 years. You had
Yeah.
12
You
years
have to
to-
act united.
to act united, and you didn't want to.
I'm united. Like we are united,
We're united.
people.
We're
do thi-
united.
Yep.
We're friends. We do things for each other.
That's right.
We
Will's Sweet Roll's not united anymore.
no, it's been torn apart. I should have got a cinnamon roll this morning.
I should just got coffee.
It's a good.
It was a perfect morning for
good morning for a
warm
cinnamon
cinnamon roll and coffee.
And
Yep.
our thoughts and prayers go out to the Ballard family.
Mhm.
That's why Chris couldn't be here. They had a little accident on the ice last night. I think everybody's okay, but we just your thoughts and prayers out to them right now. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Chris's dad needed a little help getting around. I think.
Yeah.
This morning maybe. That's why Chris couldn't be here. But
So be careful out on the ice,
Yes,
folks.
it's,
nobody needs to break a hip.
Go slow. What is the 60 mean?
I don't know. I've been trying to get rid of it all morning. It wasn't there yesterday. I don't know.
It's
Weird.
an omen. It's a sign.
I'm wondering if I don't know. Somebody look at your feed. Is it on the
It's
feed?
on the feed.
It is
yeah.
on the feed. I don't know because usually you can click on that and it'll go away. But I mean, I can get rid of the other logos with my button, but that I don't know.
If any of our viewers know how to get rid of the 60
Just,
on the feed,
I
let us
looked at
know.
all the
Send us a
overlays
message.
and I can't find.
That's okay. We'll roll with it. It's not the worst thing that could be accidentally on the screen.
That's true.
There could be.
If it starts counting down, I'm leaving.
If it starts counting down, I'm leaving too. I'm grabbing my go bag and leaving.
We're out.
Peace out. I've got my
59,
ice shoes on.
58.
so-
57.
Yeah, if it starts counting down, I'm
56.
freaking out.
Yeah, Shauna's watching this morning.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Shauna.
I have no idea. I've been looking at it too, Tom. I don't know what it is.
You guys are too focused on that.
That's
Well,
fine.
it's a little when you're Tom, who's going to focus on everything, and when you're the guy running the laptop, it's just kind of there. It's like it's your fault.
I'm in ignorant bliss over here. I don't know.
There's a 60.
There's a 60. There's numbers on the screen.
Yeah.
We control that thing.
Trying to wave back.
Hi, Shauna. How you doing?
Okay. You guys talk amongst yourselves now. Now that you've mentioned it, Tom,
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
gonna have
these
to.
guys.
I'm gonna have to work on it.
I'm
Let
gonna have
it
to do
go,
a 30-minute
let it
narrative.
go.
Elsa that. That means let it go.
Yeah, you got to Elsa that.
What Elsa that?
So, is there anything big and bad going on this week? They canceled the basketball game last night,
Did they? Oh man, it got slick fast.
and I think
yesterday.
it got rescheduled to Saturday, from what John Pope told me.
I think a lot of things got rescheduled to Saturday.
So guys, we're about to hunker in here.
Yeah, the Arctic trough.
I want to
has
say,
dropped.
let's take a look here. 'Cause I
It's
think
not going to be nice. And like Missouri people can handle some cold, but we can't handle it for long stretches of time.
Yeah, then the cabin fever
And
stuff.
then
As long
people
as-
go
As
crazy.
long as the power doesn't go out.
Ugh.
I hate it when the power goes out. Not a fan.
It says,
Yeah.
I don't think your mics are on. It sounds like it's getting you through the laptop or something. There's a white noise in the background. I
You know
can
what?
hear
It
you,
is. Man, who's been messing with this?
We are not prepared.
though. Black Magic Design.
No, I think it needs to be this one. We're going to go back and use the laptop thing until we get in here and figure out what's going on. Is the USB plugged in? I see a unplugged USB cable.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who unplugged all this stuff?
Oh my gosh, we should ask our technical director.
That was a nice shot of Tom's rear end.
Oh man.
Is that
Is that better? I don't know. Do they know?
Hey,
What do you guys think?
How about that, everybody?
All 15 people watching.
Does that sound a little bit better? I think it
Is
does.
that better?
Is
It
it?
should.
I don't know.
That's called troubleshooting on the fly.
Maybe
Yep.
that's what the 60 was warning us about.
No, it's still there.
I know.
It's still there.
And that's how Tom Brady did it, folks. He did it on the fly.
Yep.
Oh,
Very
man.
good. Okay, well, now
Let's
that we
see. It's
fixed
17 degrees outside currently.
17 people watching, 17 degrees.
Ooh.
This is your morning report.
And
17
then-
people, is that on your share though?
I don't know. I don't know if that's on the share or on the thing.
Because I'm showing 14 on
That
the
must be my
on the
share.
straight feed. So that's like 31 people there. And I haven't
Holy
looked at my share.
Guacamole.
And
Wow.
just to let everybody know, next Tuesday the forecast changed from snow to partly sunny.
I've been watching that like a hawk.
Yes.
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 We do not need any more curveballs.
We don't want any snow at all
No.
on Tuesday of next week.
Let's keep fingers crossed for no snow.
I may not be here on Tuesday of next week
Okay.
for
Oh
the
yeah, because that
morning
is
show.
yeah.
The wife and the kids and I are with the wonderful assistance of Lauren Brooke and J.R. Hutchins are
Close.
Hutchison. Everybody messes it up forever. Don't worry.
We are closing on our house that day, and we are moving to parts unknown.
Parts unknown. The oblivion.
Parts unknown outside of Rogersville.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's super exciting. I actually had a dream about it last night.
I've had dreams about it too. It's so somebody too. One of my clients is closing on like 85 acres of land this week, and then of course you guys are closing
Yeah.
next week, and I'm really excited for you. So this is a little real estate snippet that I think everybody will find interesting. So when you see the listings on Zillow and stuff, that comes from the MLS, the multi-list. That's where the realtors put it in to the system, and then our MLS populates Zillow
Right.
and Trulia and Realtor.com, unless it's like a for sale by owner that somebody puts directly on Zillow. So the SOMO MLS is what you're seeing out there online,
Yeah.
and that covers a huge area. Like kind of Springfield's the epicenter, and then it goes out from there all the way to like Joplin, Texas County, and north and south of that. So it's a huge area of southern Missouri. And when I started 6 years ago, I'd hit my quick search button and a number would pop up, and that would be the unfiltered residential listings, right? And that number would be 5,000. So that meaning there was 5,000 residential listings from a shanty to a McMansion in SOMO.
Right.
And yesterday when I clicked on that quick search button, that number was 1,680. So it's dropping every day, basically, because there's no home inventory.
Right.
And guys, people are moving here. Like a lot of people are moving here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens over the next
I don't like it.
year.
I don't like it.
I think the gig's up. I think people are like, oh, Southern Missouri is not just filled with crazy people and hillbillies. It's a nice place to live. We should go live there.
Well, it's
Us
soon gonna-
hillbillies like it the way it is, though. Let's keep that.
Here's the thing: you call someplace paradise, you can kiss it goodbye, and keep your mouth shut. This place sucks.
Yeah. It's
Arctic
filled with
tundra.
crazy people and hillbillies. Stay away. You don't want to live here.
They're crazy.
But going back to the weather, this is, guys, we are in for about a week of this stuff. So be careful out there. There's going to be ice on the road every single day.
Yeah, there is. It's not nice, and it's not going to be nice for a while.
I had
Not
to buy
all
an
of us
electric
have-
chicken waterer.
Electric. Oh my gosh. Will, you are a hillbilly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've told you that.
It's got a little battery on it.
No. I plug it in. Plugs in. I got a little thermostat controlled plug that plugs in, and then the electricity, the extension cord plugs into that. And if the temperature drops below like 40, the power comes on. And if the temperature is above 40, then it shuts the power off. So it doesn't run the electric bucket that keeps the chicken water from freezing.
Yeah, because that was my favorite thing as a
Really?
kid was making sure the animals had water that wasn't frozen.
The chickens eat ice.
Chickens will eat
Anything.
I was going to say, they eat rocks too.
Yep, they do. You actually have to give them rocks because they don't have teeth, and so you have to give them grit so that their guts use that to grind up the food.
It's for
Really?
their craw.
Mhm.
It's for
Chickens
their
are
craw.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're strange little creatures.
It was fun though. I was cooking chicken fried rice on not my chickens. I bought chicken. I bought already pre-slaughtered chickens, but
Cooking my chicken.
my chickens are egg chickens, not meat chickens. But I'm frying the chicken fried rice, and I get down there. I've got all that stuff because I cook outside down under the patio, and I'm down there like, oh, I forgot to get eggs out of the refrigerator. I'm like, I just walked out and got a couple eggs out of the hen house, and there we go.
I've never had chickens. We didn't have them. We had cattle. We didn't have chickens.
We've talked about it.
Dabbled, thinking.
Yeah.
They're fun. I enjoy the chickens. They're soothing. You can kind of sit there and listen to them.
I kind of want to get some ducks.
But
Ducks are funny.
but like anything else, they poop a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my deal.
Well, and I've had there's a YouTube channel. There's some people that are homesteaders, I think down in Ava. And I was watching one of their videos, and they were talking about like the animals that you don't get.
Yeah.
Well, so the guy, I guess, he had he decided he wanted to get some little goslings. And so he got them, and they were so cute when they were little that he would go into the little barn with them, and he would lay
Like
in there
snuggle?
with them and snuggle with them.
Little snuggle.
Well, the problem is they got attached to him,
Yeah.
and so then they would sit out the front door of the house and they would honk for him all morning, and then so then he was like, they'd be laying in bed in the morning, and then the little goose would, or the goslings, the gooses, or whatever you
I
want to
don't
call
know.
them, they come running out and they would be honking for their daddy.
Ah!
Geese are mean.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They
I've been
will-
chased
well,
by a goose in Detroit.
That's why he
That's how
got 'em.
gangster I am.
Yeah. That's why he got him. He got the geese to protect or
Yeah.
to watch over stuff.
Yeah, geese are mean.
They're
Yeah.
funny. So when we lived over in Pine Ridge, we backed to the neighborhood lake, and there was a lot of geese, and they would like have babies there, and they're interesting looking. They look kind of like little T-Rexes, like
Mhm.
because they're kind of gray right before,
Yeah.
or kind of yellowy gray right before they get like more goose feathers.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know about birds, but
Goose feathers.
goose feathers.
Man.
But yeah, they're
No,
weird looking
I
when they're little.
now that we're going to be moving out on some acreage, we keep sitting there going, okay, what kind of animal are we going to get? And none of us have any clue. You know,
You can get some goats.
Go into that slowly.
I've thought of getting goats. We already got the name picked out of the first goat, Hank.
That's a
Okay.
good goat name.
Hank the goat.
Okay.
Jesse said I can never have a goat.
I-
He's like, they get on your car.
I've heard you got to get two. If you don't get
Probably.
two, one of them will get depressed.
Yeah, and I think, well, Emma was explaining
I
to
think
me.
Emma was telling me that.
Emma
yeah.
was explaining to us, they have goats, and I think they lost a couple recently because, I mean, some animals just like to try to kill themselves, and I think goats can be
Lemmings.
that way. Yeah,
I don't want to do this
some
anymore.
animals are really hard to keep alive.
I think if I had two horns on my head and all I could say was bah, I might
Bah.
try to kill myself too.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had goats either. Like I said, we had cattle, and I mean, you feed them, you make sure they have water, you try to prevent them from killing themselves. Ours like to eat plastic Walmart bags.
Oh.
Don't throw Walmart bags out. They fly and they end up on a fence. And then a cow walks up to him and is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna eat that." And then it eats
Yeah.
it, and then it's like,
Mhm.
and then somebody has to go drag the bag out of its throat.
Imagine
don't
you never.
litter.
Well, if you get to drag it out of the throat, you got the lucky part.
Yeah.
Because you can have to drag it out.
Yeah,
The other end.
way. So
Yeah, yeah.
don't litter. PSA.
Don't
do
let
it.
you kill the cows.
You're gonna kill cows.
For your
Is
friendly
it-
farmers,
You're either
remind
going to
you.
kill the turtles out in the. Oh, you want to talk about this?
Oh, geez, I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
That's a rant right there.
It is a rant. I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
I mean, just that alone
It's
is
stupid.
But we're talking about the Internal Revenue Service.
No, it's the Missouri Department of Revenue.
Well,
that's the
the
Missouri.
Internal Revenue Service isn't any better right now.
Yeah. So I have to fill out a form to get a sales tax ID number. So, first of all, they have an online portal. And because I had been proactive and pre-registered a business, I couldn't use the online portal to then do step 2. So I downloaded the form because they're like, you have to send it in manually. And
Can you see that?
I don't know if you can see that or not. Here.
See
maybe.
that large gray block right in the important part of the form? Right.
Right
There we
there,
go.
right
There
there.
we go.
That. So this is a cute little thing that theoretically, if you're online, you can click it and it says, hey, use the online registration instead, which I can't do because
Well, Will, when it's on a piece of paper, you can't click it off.
I know, but you can't. I mean, you can't. I mean, I brought it up on my computer and I couldn't click it off,
Right.
and so I go to print the form and it's covering up the very first, like the name of the business, and so you can't fill out their form because they've tried. And I was just telling Lauren, she heard me ranting because I
As
was
I walked in.
I was working on this when she walked in, is if they would spend their time and energy fixing just the basic stuff that's screwed up instead of wasting time and energy trying to do something fancy that breaks more things
Yeah.
than it helps.
We'd all be in better shape. It's crazy.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop doing it.
So,
Fix
I don't
problems.
know. I don't know what I think. Oh, and here's this just burnt me up too. So I'm trying to do the online thing. And I've actually called the Department of Revenue 3 different times trying to solve this problem.
Oh,
And they tell me, like, well, what browser are you using? I'm like, well, I've tried Safari, Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. Oh, no, you have to use Internet Explorer. I'm like, Internet Explorer hasn't even existed for like, when did Microsoft drop IE? Like 5 years ago?
It was at least 5 years ago.
oh man.
Well, that's probably when they wrote the code for that.
It says it was updated in 2018.
lies.
2019. I don't know. I just don't understand.
You're making me crazy.
Well,
And this is to get a sales tax ID number so I can pay taxes.
Oh, yeah, that's what always gets me is when they make it complicated for you to pay something that you're supposed to pay. That's my favorite thing.
Well, my accountant was telling me that they are literally changing the rules every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, like, people that are filing taxes, they're like, let's just wait till, like, I don't know, 1st of April and just do all of them then, because hopefully we'll have less changes that we have to adhere to every
Well, they're trying to
single day.
slow walk us to all this stuff, and they might as well just go down to that 1040 super easy form. How much did you make? Send it in, because that's where we're headed.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I mean...
Yeah, it is. It's the way to pay taxes and all
it's
that.
crazy.
It's like, if you don't pay them, we're going to send you to the...
You're going to go to, like,
yeah, we're going to
federal
send you to the
prison.
slammer. We're going to take all your money. But if you don't go through this process, we're going to cause you to have a coronary.
Little known fact, apparently,
Mm.
income tax was unconstitutional until the passage of the 16th Amendment.
Really?
Yeah.
When did it pass?
Oh, like 1913.
Hmm.
So we ran this country for over 100 years without an income
Are you
tax.
serious? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was unconstitutional because...
Yeah, but we all didn't have toilets back then.
Turlets?
I'd probably give up my toilet to get rid of a
I would.
income tax.
Yeah, I'd be all for that.
Holy cow. I can buy a bidet. Yeah. There's your second word for the day.
Bidet.
Yeah, income.
What was
It was
that first?
unconstitutional. It was unconstitutional for a reason, because there's only one reason to have an income tax, and that's to redistribute wealth, which we never agreed with from the founding of this country. It was one of the issues.
I have this idea that the federal government should run the road system, and that's it.
The interstate road system.
Yeah,
No,
interstate.
just all. They should do the roads. No, that's true. They'd have to work closely with the State Department, where they should run the roads.
We would have ran off the road
And-
all over the place this
I'm-
morning if the
Well, if
federal
that was
government
their
in
one
charge.
I'm
job.
okay with border security and
Of course, there's the
national
military,
and national
yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think they ought to pretty much stay out of it.
Well, that's my thought too. But I mean, if they had obviously they're running like everything right now, and they should probably just run like two things.
Well, I was talking to we had Dr. Randall's in here on Saturday Friday morning for a morning show. Then and he was talking about the school district and some of the things that were going on, and
Mm-hmm.
we just made a comment. It's like it's easier the closer you are to a target, the easier it is to hit it. And so when you're shooting at things like education and homelessness, which are community issues,
Absolutely.
from Washington D.C., it's really
it's
hard
to hit the target.
hard to
yeah.
hit the target.
That's
It's hard
just
to hit.
that's logical. That makes sense.
But
yeah.
we keep shifting our local responsibility, and that's what really burns me up too. Is it's our responsibility to educate our kids, take care of our neighbors. That's our job.
Yep.
Right here.
Yes.
And people keep going, well, I voted for Social Security, so I did my part. No, that's not the way that works.
Well, I think it goes back to the idea that you need to step up within your own communities.
100%.
We're going to have to do it even more so, I
Mhm.
think, in
Yes.
the coming years, because we're starting to see things that are totally outside of our realm. You see the things that they talk about up in Washington D.C. or wherever, and it's so foreign to us. We don't even pay
it's like a
attention to that
different
stuff.
country.
The people that we talk to on a daily basis, they don't have half the issues that they're dealing with up there. So it is
No.
about pulling in and working within our own communities and with the people in our own towns and helping them instead of worrying about what everybody else is
I
doing.
100% agree.
nothing comes from the federal government without strings.
That's
Sure.
right.
Of
You know,
course.
it's like, oh, we're going to give you highway dollars, but you
Right.
have to have your speed limit has to be 55, and it all comes with strings. And so we're so much better off if they go, hey, we're going to give you this. Man, no thanks.
Thank you. No, thank you. Well, it's just like, it's like when you get a little older and your dad goes, hey, son, here, take a 20. I go, Dad, I'm fine. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Oh.
Not that your parents necessarily have strings attached, but there could be.
But at some point, you got to cut the strings. I had this epiphany several days ago. Well, like maybe 2 weeks
You've
ago now.
used two big words today.
I know.
I think you're
I
kind of
did-
up.
I
with
am
using words
slightly
today like
educated.
that. Epiphany and slickery.
Slickery.
Dr. Kaiser wants in. He wants in on this conversation. He's like, we're
Oh.
paying for everything in the USA and other countries. Darn right we are.
I had this
Dr.
epiphany
Kaiser.
a couple weeks ago. I'm sitting there thinking about politics and stuff, and I'm like, I don't really think God made us to worry about politics every single
true.
day of our life.
That's absolutely
I
true.
don't think we are designed to sit around and consume news that is designed to infuriate us or make us feel like we're being agreed with.
Politics is the low-hanging duck
Oh,
of
boy, it
every
is.
single argument.
Why the
Yeah.
crap are we so absorbed with
That was
this?
a nice mixed metaphor.
I know.
It
I
was.
love
I like
mixed
it.
metaphors. It's like my favorite thing to do.
I like malapropisms.
Whoa.
What's that?
That is a big word.
That's where you intentionally mix up words.
Just to mess with people?
Well,
yeah.
people will say it wrong.
I do. I
Yeah.
do it too.
Like I got places to go and people to be.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. That is funny.
No, Lauren, I absolutely agree.
We're
I
not
think,
supposed to spend so much time on this.
but it's everything in our popular culture now is to talk about politics
Yeah.
or other people's supposed morals, and I think the reality of it is that we are. It's all still a journey, but there's a lot of people that are out there on the news and whatnot that seem to have the answer already.
Mhm.
They almost seem like they came out of their mama's womb with the answer already instilled, and they never made any
Is that
mistakes.
being woke?
Because that's what they were told
Yeah.
for
And-
years.
You know, I think that the reality of it is our communities that we decide to invest in
Yes.
and spend time in, that's where our morals need to be residing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Just because it's so hard to be able to like draw a line of where we should and shouldn't be, and be able to talk to people back and forth and come to conclusions that way instead of listening to Anderson Cooper.
Well, so how do you do that? A lot of people honestly don't even know. If you weren't involved
shut
in
these down.
shut
That's the
that
first
off.
thing,
Yeah.
And here's some things you can do to be involved in your community. Just go talk to people.
You could volunteer and come help at K-ROG.
You could help at K-ROG. You could go to a city council meeting. You could come to Coffee at the Post on Thursday mornings.
Rogersville Friends of the Park.
You could volunteer at a farmer's market. You could volunteer with, let's see, there's a lot of great organizations. Care to Learn here in Rogersville.
Safe Haven, do they?
Safe Haven,
Yeah.
Community Foundation of Rogersville. Because here's what happens. When you do that, you meet people.
Yep.
That's how all these
That's how
relationships
these
were
were
built.
built.
Or
Yes.
through that, yeah. Is
Yes.
through our community involvement and working with people.
Absolutely. And so, I mean, and it's I think personally, it's helped all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And
You know, I don't want to overstate this or understate this, but I mean, I think this K-ROG, which was a total accident,
yeah,
I think it helped us all get through the pandemic, didn't it?
without going completely crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It did.
I mean, we just sort of had something to do,
Yeah.
and it was cool, and maybe help some other folks too.
Well,
that'd
and
be
there's
great.
a certain type of person that doesn't get to sit down for too long without like going, I got to do something. And
Yeah.
We need youth football coaches.
That's a great
yes,
one.
That's
Rick.
a great
They need
idea.
those for football
Rick.
and basketball and all community sports.
Actually,
The,
Rick. Oh yeah,
oh, yeah,
I
it's been
coach Mighty Mates. Rick was the one that said you're going to coach. And I'm like, okay, cool.
fun. Yeah, I coached youth soccer too, and I never played soccer in my life. I did a pretty good job though.
No, it was funny. We were. I think that is one of the things. As soon as we moved to Rogersville, the very first day, I went up to City Hall because we had to get our water bill and all that stuff figured out when we got
Mhm.
here. And I walked in and I said, "Hey, can we get on to the kids? Hey, thanks, Rick. I got asked to be an assistant baseball coach.
Yeah, like
Like
look okay.
the day of.
Background checks. We don't need no stinking background.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we do.
I see a lot. LRPTA.
Yeah, Kathy Barton, Kathy has volunteered, and she's going to be like, Lauren, stop talking. She's volunteered so much for the Rogersville PTA. She basically kind of runs a Wildcat closet right now, which that provides. It's a place where you can donate used clothing, and people can come in and get what they need for their children. And Kathy has spent a ridiculous amount of time. So
Right.
thank you, Kathy. I know you didn't post that to be called out, but thank you for your volunteerism over the years. And guess what? It's getting harder and harder to find volunteers for things. And that's one of the things about the Wildcat Closet is, we need help with
Yeah.
somebody taking that over next year. So
Well, and I
there you
think,
go.
just like we said about volunteers, and I was never the greatest at it. I'm still learning on how to do it because it's a huge time commitment.
It is.
We all have families. Every single one of us have families, and it can be somewhat expensive sometimes,
Yeah.
just because you might have to pick up the slack. But it is totally worth it. and it's for you all. It's for our community. And so I think people, if you ever want to volunteer and want to just, the idea is like maybe rattling around in your brain, that might be something you might want to do. You can get in touch with any one of us.
Yeah.
You can get in touch with Chris Ballard, John Pope, anybody that works here at K-ROG, and we can get you pointed in the right direction.
Well, here's another thing I just want to throw out there for folks. If you've got an idea and you don't know how to start, you're looking at 3 people that just start stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had somebody send me an email the other day. They wanted to do a specific type of fundraiser, and I was happy to answer their questions.
We can get you started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Don't expect us to do the work.
No, we won't do anything.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
But we can definitely get kicked off. That's
Yeah, we can get it going. And get you in touch
I'm
with
a
the right
master at
people.
starting things. I'm horrible at keeping them going and finishing them, but I know, right?
But you know, and that's
But I'll
what,
get them started.
that's what always surprised me. Like
Like the fire.
on some of the you see on some of the Facebook pages where people go, I'm just having a hard time meeting people, and I'm like, man, I've had a hard time not meeting people since I've been in Rogersville.
If you take a couple of steps and get involved in some things, you'll be amazed at how quickly you get with a group of people that's kind of like-minded, that you want to be friends with, that, you know, these end up being people that your kids are around. I mean, it's the organic way to meet people that care about the same things you do.
Yeah. And we try to let you know about all those things right here on K-ROG.
First step is show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second step is say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Third step is say hi again.
Yeah.
Show up again.
And then pretty soon they're like, do you want a T-shirt? And you volunteer.
Can you be here at 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
we need you to make some massive decisions here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's a good town.
It is. It's cool.
Are we done for today?
I don't know, probably.
yeah, I need to
Yeah.
go get some coffee.
It's still a
Yeah.
frozen tundra.
Yeah, I'm going
It
to
is.
brave the ice and go down and get some coffee at Story Time.
Story is
Coffee.
open, and they are serving delicious coffee. It's
They
very
are.
peaceful and warm in there.
I forgot that I saw something that said that they were going to be closed, but I guess
I think they thought they might open later, but they got there.
Yeah,
and got going.
I got mine.
Boom.
Delicious.
Okay, Rogersville, thanks for watching. I guess we got a coaches show probably tomorrow night, and
I think so. Yeah.
all the games coming up. Chain Gang on Sunday. Back around next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Bye.